I'm Margaret Spencer with Boulder's only news show by students for students. In 2016, CU students left behind over 55,000 pounds of stuff in their residence halls. And this year, that number is set to increase. Since 2012, 438 people have been shot in a school, and 138 of those people have died. In addition to setting up their study plans, many students are working out how to get themselves and their stuff back home. And I'm here at the Coble Business School, where yesterday the library was quarantined. According to city officials, Boulder Falls Trailhead is scheduled to open on or before July 4th. Still, many women struggle to be taken seriously.
I always assume we're all scientists here, we're all researchers, we're all equal level, so you just take me for my research and not my voice, like my actual voice.
Before starting college, Amber Helmick never worried about the sound of her voice. That changed last year. In preparation for a prestigious research presentation, Helmick's teacher gave the women some unexpected advice.
She specifically just said, girls, mind your pitch. So for the men, it wasn't a problem.
How does the sound of someone's voice impact the content of their presentation? Researchers have found that in every arena, from presidential races to PTA meetings, the sound of lower-pitched voices is associated with higher leadership capacity. Female leaders regularly receive criticism about their speaking voices. Presidential candidate Hillary Clinton was labeled as shrill during her campaign. There was a belief that women must change themselves to get ahead. Beth Osnes disagrees.
If I ask a woman to speak at a pitch that more resembles the pitch of a man, what I'm really asking her to do is, would you mind speaking more like a man?
Osnes has found that all speakers are more successful if their credibility comes from confidence. This isn't possible if the voice a speaker uses isn't her own.
If she's trying to conform to some idea of voice that is credible, she's stepping outside of her own place of where she's grounded.
Amber Helmick is confidently grounded in her research. Despite her teacher's advice, Helmick doesn't lose sight of what really matters.
It's not about how they're saying it, it's what they're saying.
And women will continue to focus on what they are saying until the data is viewed just as seriously as their delivery. For News Team Boulder, I'm Margaret Spencer. Learning to use your voice isn't important at any age. Professor Osnes is currently running workshops that work to teach practical skills for female vocal empowerment for both middle school and college students. We might be groaning about the weather here in Boulder, but in Nederland, Colorado, everyone is praying for a snow day every day. An early morning with a cup of coffee and a pastry. Families getting ready for their day. It's a common enough scene, but in Nederland, Colorado, barista Michelle Quigley has noticed that it's a scene with fewer actors than normal.
It has affected it earlier, the earlier winter. The crowd of people, the lines of cars have definitely cut down a lot.
The it Quigley is referring to? Snow. Well, more accurately, the lack of snow.
It's been a very dry year. I attributed a lot of it to the weather.
No snow means fewer visitors, and fewer visitors has an impact beyond a shorter wait time for your morning coffee. In this town, every storefront has a face and a story. This means that the weather impacts their very livelihood.
Actually, we have no franchises here in Nederland, and we're very proud of that. We're all family-owned businesses here.
On average, 10 inches of snow is equivalent to 1 inch of rain. So in towns like Nederland, where economic success is so closely tied with the weather, it brings a whole new meaning to the phrase making it rain. The town of Nederland is now looking for ways to build a future that doesn't rest on such a fast-melting base.
Several people have a lot of plans to do lots of things here to improve the town, and that will also improve the number of visitors that we have.
One of those people making plans is Brent Tregaskis, the vice chair of Nederland's Downtown Development Association.
If it doesn't snow in the winter, it can affect the business in a negative way. There is a direct correlation to snowfall and how well the town of Nederland does.
The DDA is now laying the groundwork for a future that can survive beyond the snow.
We've actually passed a new funding mechanism through tax dollars to spend and try to fix it up. We're working on projects signing, parking, improving the visitor center would make it better.
Even with the new improvements, snow will always be a part of the story and the economy up here. But as Michelle Quigley sees it, their survival is built on more.
It's just, I think it's Nederland. Everybody, we're just a really great community. Everybody here loves everyone. I think that things are going to start picking up again.
Until then, locals will have to rely on their mountain spirit and maybe another foot or two. Margaret Spencer, News Team Boulder. Moving from Waffle House to the White House, the Trumps aren't the only presidential family in Washington this week. Welcome back to News Team and welcome back to school. Hopefully all you buffs caught some sun on spring break because it may be a while before you're able to lay out again.
There'll be a lot of backlash if this proposal goes through.
Now, I know that this proposed ban will cover assault rifles, but what classifies something as an assault weapon? Now, folks on the other half of the country are going to have to hold on to their hats as severe thunderstorms start to spawn throughout the southeast. Now, this time of the year is affectionately known as tornado season for those of us who grew up in the Eastern time zone.
So what reactions have you seen from the Student Government Board?
Well, they're not happy. The current CUSG administration wasn't included in any of the discussions about this budget change. And while undergrads are preparing for another round of finals, CU seniors are preparing for the real world. For News Team Boulder, I'm Margaret Spencer.